Welcome to Smart Helping Punish Modern live stream. We're doing mixed use real estate. Before we get into it, I got a couple things. First, free financial model template. We're picking a number here. We got 1308. Let's run it. 137, an early one. Nice. Let me save that over here. I give away a free template at the beginning of each stream. Last week, the guy picked a website mobile app model. First one actually responded in 7 weeks, so that's great. Okay. I worked a little bit on this. Basically, where we left off last time, I was doing, I think, OPEX. And so I've just done OPEX for all these, which was pretty straightforward. I've got the schedules here for each use. Essentially, I'm trying, in this mixed use model, I'm trying to separate every type. So we've got offices, residential, food places, shopping, shopping mall or something, parking garage, and 2 extra slots. So this could be anything to find over here on the control tab. So I've set up a framework. You can kind of build out each use. The unit, square footage, the start month of rent, rent per unit per month, growth of that rent in years 2 and 3, stabilized growth in years 4 plus, occupancy, monthly improvement in that, stabilized occupancy, OPEX for, we've got 17 slots here. You can define the monthly cost for each type. I think, yeah, it's on a monthly basis. Let me double check. Yep, we're just doing a monthly basis on that. And a growth, which you can define independently. So what's nice about separating each one is you can get a net operating income because we're separating revenues, occupancy, and expenses individually. And if you can see, I'll unhide all these. So up top is all the logic for revenue, occupancy, vacancy, gross revenue, gross rental revenue, and then we have OPEX rolled up all right here. But you've got each section's OPEX. You can see the 17 fields here for each use type. And at the bottom, we've got net operating income for each type and rolled up into the total. And this is just a sanity check here. This should always equal 0. We'll get into the fun stuff today, which is going to be more of the cash flow structuring. Probably going to put in a joint venture waterfall. And I want to kind of work fast, so I'll probably be a little bit more quiet unless we have people in the chat. Because I'm looking to get through this today, hopefully. So yeah, net operating income. And the reason why we want separate net operating incomes is because I'm actually going to make the exit month dynamic. If you want to sell off a couple and keep a couple, that can happen. And each has their own exit cap for the exit month. Let me get my grid lines lighter. So we got a start year. Got all that configuration. I've also done the develop. Okay, so this I don't think I put in development costs. No. So we've got operating income, but we also want to show, well, what's the cost to develop? And your development costs, you're going to have to line up when these stop or are ready with the operational start month. And we'll just start all these in year 2. Let's just go to year 2 and then stagger it. So January 2023, Feb, and we can drag that down. All the months are always the first day of the month. If in doubt, just use the drop down to select the start month. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so this was costs. And I put conditional formatting on the gross monthly rental revenue and the net operating income to kind of visualize each use a little bit better. And it's also provides some relative performance. So, oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to support. We're up to 3 members, which is actually more than I thought I'd have by now. If you want to just support the stream, you can go ahead and join the YouTube channel. $4.99 a month. It helps. You also get to talk in the live chat. Thanks for the support to those who have done so. Alright, development costs. Let's put in, so each one actually can be separate. We don't like, offices could have separate names and residential and food place, etc. So all we want here is the total of each type, which is up to 7. Development costs. And we'll do another sanity check on this as well. Make sure we're flowing. Now this is easy. We just simply reference because we've already done the logic here. We've got offices, residential. I think they're all the same. I just put the same numbers. Shopping, parking garage. Extra slot 1, extra slot 2. So usually your net operating income is not going to start until after this is pretty much done. But you can stagger it if you plan to develop, offices and residential first, then start, collecting rent on that while these are still being built. That's completely fine, and you can do it, on a monthly basis, so it can be as granular as you need it to be. Let's think about, so we've got net operating income. We have done nothing with financing. The debt on this, debt is always doing the debt is always a complicated thing. So I haven't done anything here yet. What I think I want to do is not separate each development type into its own debt service and refi and all that. What I want to do what's the best way? Well, I guess before we get to debt, let's do cash flow, because we've now got every aspect. Net operating income minus this. That's going to affect regular cash flows before debt and distributions and everything else. So, let's do a check here. So we want to make sure this total should equal this total up here. And actually, I'd rather do it, show a 0. Alright, here's our cash flow. So generally speaking, the cash flow is only going to be negative for months where there's development happening and those costs going out. And generally, you're going to see net operating income is always going to be positive, most likely. But that shouldn't matter, because all I want to know is what are the negative values, and those are going to be our draws. And usually a development loan, you're going to do interest only, and you might not pay it all. You might accrue it and pay it, at the end of the period, the development period. You might, and then start doing P&I or pay it all in a bullet, or, roll it. There's literally a million different things. So what I try to do with these is make it as general as possible and as useful. And that's going to mean interest only loan, or the option for a loan. It could be interest only or starting right away. And this is always the hardest part of doing this, so I think I'll try to do it as best as possible. So I'm going to actually do an option for accruing or paying the interest as you go. And then that any negative cash flow after this is going to be assumed to have to come from, the owner's equity or other investors. And then that will flow out to the waterfall distribution. So cash flow. You draw interest only. All right, let's set up this. I'm actually just going to go right from scratch here. So what's the best way? One number. When am I going out? 10 years? Yep, 10 years. Oh, shoot. We have to do the exit assumptions before this. So exit is based on just the net operating income annualized divided by the cap. So we also have to stop all operations upon the exit month. So make sure this works. It's starting like May, June. Okay, perfect. So hold on, we've got net operating income, development costs. Before we get into cash flow, we need to do exit. Now for exit proceeds, you've also got to count for, selling fees, maybe whatever, and other fees, just a percentage for fees that come off the exit value. We'll separate that all out. So we got exit total. Exit proceeds. Let's drag this way down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. Give it a space, and then selling costs. Also, you can have an NA. Basically, if you don't want to account for an exit, you can put 0% cap. Selling costs, and then the best way, I like to separate things out if you want to get real clear on what math is being done. And that's sales proceeds. Just so anybody can look at this and say, okay, I know what this is. Total net sales. Because one way you could do it is just calculate the net exit value and then multiply it by 1 minus the selling fees. But it would be accurate, but you wouldn't be able to see what the actual calculation is of the selling, like how much the selling fees are. So we're going to add that. Oh. Alright, so the math here is real simple. If this month equals exit month, then take net operating income of the use divided by exit cap. Otherwise, 0. Let's see, we gotta lock this. Control can go down, monthly cash flow. We don't want to reference the tab name. Actually, that can flow up and over, and then control's gotta be locked over. Okay. So we should see some exit values here. Oh, negative. Oh. Net operating income here is negative, which I've just put in arbitrary figures. Let's make sure that's right. 68 minus 136. Gross income for residential 57. Yep. Okay, so let's make that positive. Yeah, I mean, let's put it at like 3,500. Actually, 4,000. These assumptions are all arbitrary, so when you get this template, you would put in your own numbers. We're still negative on food and shopping. I'll put 8,000. Oh, still negative on food. Wow. All right. How about 15? Okay, good. It's all positive. Okay, so there's exit caps. Now we have to annualize this to make it make sense. So this has got to be. Go back over here. C39's got to be times by 12. Okay, so yeah, you're making 154,000 a year on offices, or I mean 154,000 a month. Here's the math. You times that by 12. That's operating income of 1.8 million a year. Divide that by cap. Exit cap of 6.5. Note, the lower the exit cap, the higher the value. The higher the exit cap, the lower the values. 28 million. 568, which is the number we see in there. Let me undo that so I don't mess up my rows. Okay. I'm gonna have to stop all these operations activities on these exit months as well. which I'll do after this. Selling costs, real simple. That amount times selling fees. And the better your structure, the less complicated your formulas usually have to be, which is good for a lot of reasons. So selling costs, net sales proceeds, just the total minus the selling fees. And we'll group these so it's nice and clean. If you want to just see the high level subtotals of all the different sections. And then that net proceed is going to be added to cash flow here. But let's go to our operations. So each of these, did we stop on these? No. If date here is greater than the exit, then 0. Now we're going to have to, that's going to be a drag going down. Now I believe I can drag this and over, just make sure nothing changes. Good. Okay, this is 0. Now why did, oh right, because there's different dates. Okay, that zeroed out, this zeroed out, that's good. Monthly rent, this needs to zero out as well. Now here I just got to paste this in. There's not really a simple way to drag it because it's referencing the matrix tab, which is not, I can't just drag it down. So I got to reference with D7 to D8 and all the way down 9. And with the financial model, it's like you're doing all these little things and you know the end goal. And you'll get there, you just got to keep doing all the little things and eventually you finish. Make sure these are all one unit. Oh, right, because the workaround, like for a parking garage, is just assume one unit. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's good, good, good. Good, just making sure everything is zeroing out. Good, good. Now, yep, that's right. That's good. OpEx. This one. Okay, so what's this summing up? Oh, below. Now, because, do I have to do each individual? Let me think. Yeah. Or do I? So net operating income would just, yes, I have to because this wouldn't be right. All right. Well, but am I just doing the subtotal? Yeah, I can just do the subtotal. So each of these will not add up if it's greater than the date of exit. Where am I at here? What am I doing? OPEX. So each of these. Oh, sorry about the noise. Parenthesis. Man, it's a hot one up here in Ohio today. It's about 80. It's been nice though. All right, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. 7, 13. Now this should stop. Perfect. Last one. Okay, this looks perfect. This is a nice check because these all should be zeroed out. Yep. Now why is this? Yes. This is negative because we're checking. What are we checking against? Gross revenue. Gross revenue minus consolidated. Minus, what's 246? Oh wait, yeah, that's, hold on, so what are we missing here? Right. Shoot. Because, what's this referencing? The total. Okay. So for the correct, let's go. We gotta go on here. Actually, shoot. We're gonna have to do every one, I think, no matter what. So I didn't even do a sound check. Let me. Might be talking to nobody. Hold on. Test. Test. No, that sound is fine. Okay, good. Man, I really don't want to do this to every one of these. Well, here's a workaround. If I reference the name up here in each of these, I think I can do a formula, which is hopefully. So this is just drag. Is this dragging? So I can do if this is greater than, and then index, and then pull the month based on that matching this here. If that's greater than that, then 0 out, otherwise that. Okay, so lock this in range. Hey, hon. Food. Thank you. I'm really hungry. Oh, is that just fall?
It was just a piece of rice.
Lock this. And this has to be locked. And C4 also. Now I believe I can drag this down. Hopefully. Let's see. Make sure none of the numbers change. Looks good, looks good. Okay. Nice. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Chicken teriyaki with shrimp tempura. Sorry if you just joined and you hear that. I'm starving. Alright. Where am I? Oh. So this I can drag this. Instead of having to do it, 49 different times. We go here. And I just got to change this to go down. What's this? Oh no, that's fine. That goes down. Okay, I think that's good. Let's try to drag this. Make sure the numbers don't change at all. Good. Perfect. Okay. One of the hard with formulas when you're trying to scale out stuff to build things and you're trying to be efficient is you don't want to mess up your references. For example, if I forget to drag this down from residential to food place, I'm now referencing the residential exit date instead, and that's all going to be messed up. Just making sure this, yeah, okay, it's good. Keep it going here. I just paste. Nice. Oh no, that didn't work. Where's? Oh, there we go. Because I pasted the other one. And now I just saved myself at least 15 minutes by creating that nice dynamic reference. Otherwise, I would have had to go in and paste that formula into every single one of these rows individually. Bring this down here. we're just plugging away. I really like financial modeling, and it's really a long-term view of everything. Like the stuff I build, in theory, should not ever go, like, you're gonna have to do resource planning, like no matter what is going on in the world. And some business, I try not to get too many businesses that are like in a fad or something. Mixed use real estate, probably something that's going to be around for as long as there's people. So I try to build something that's really good and long lasting and very flexible. So when I build it once, it has the ability to be useful to people for a very long time. Now, why is that the same month? That should not be. And that's a nice error check. So what happened here? Did I not bring it down? Oh, shoot. The exit months have to be, or the name, since I'm doing index and I'm doing a direct match. Oh, shoot, I gotta make it different. Okay. We'll just put a note. Names must be unique. Whoa, Miranda, what's going on? Oh, thank you. We're dog sitting right now, and it's horrible. Okay, now there we go. We got the last month going. Now our error check. So that was a great error check. Because that should have been 0 and it wasn't, because these weren't adding up, because I wasn't stopping the individuals. I was only stopping the subtotals. So that's really good. Alright, let's not lose our spot. So we've done dynamic exit months, exit proceeds, selling costs, net sales. We're gonna have to assume all debts were paid on these exit months as well, and potentially fees for closing the loan. But that can be done later. We don't even have the debt logic in. What else do we need? What's next? So proceeds, selling costs. That. Let's make these cash flow columns a little bit wider. Go 13. What else? I think we're ready for debt. Cash flow. We'll just put cash flow before financing. Now, all right. So we've got our debt schedule here. These are always complicated. So I want to do if I have to index it probably. First of all, okay, let's think about this. We need to do yeah, I mean 9 out of 10 times is going to be like a situation where it's interest only period. So let's index this. If our month matches the month. And I only want to pull negative values, so what I'll do is put a max on this equal, oh, I want this one. So max value of, or I'm sorry, min value of this or 0 can't be positive. Because you're not going to draw money from the bank if you, oh, I gotta lock these. If you made profit. And what we're really trying to do is solve for the cash, minimum cash required. Gotta lock all this stuff. One thing I like about Excel is I can drag, in Google Sheets, if I got a formula here, last time I checked anyway, I can't just double click the bottom and make it go. I have to drag it manually down if there's already formulas below it, which is annoying. I wish Excel, or I wish Google Sheets didn't do that. Sorry guys, I'm sorry if you hear me eating. I don't know how to mute my mic and I'm starving. Okay. So debt logic. Draws obviously are going to increase the balance. And there's going to be an interest rate on that. And then we're also going to have it be able to switch to P&I after the interest only period. And after that, we're going to also allow for a refi to happen if you want a refi, which means at some point in the future, based on the net operating income that you think will be existing in some, like year 4 or 5, and we can do a loan to value based on cap rate applied to that. Don't worry. I'll show you all the steps. Hold on. So interest. Interest only rate. We'll have to do this configuration here. So interest only rate is some number. Say 12%. Monthly, this divided by 12. We're going to need a lot more space. Hold on, let me insert some more rows here. This is actually the fun part though. The complexity can be fun. Sometimes, if it's not too bad. Interest only rate, monthly, interest only rate. We'll put development financing. Now, again, you will be able to zero this out if you don't want to fund anything. And it'll just all flow to equity. And we'll put that. Sorry. We'll do that here. So funding. Use traditional debt financing. No fill, black. And we'll just do a yes, no. What am I doing here? Data validation, clear all, and list yes, no. So we now say if this equals no, then 0. Always. Otherwise, do this. Lock that. Alright, so if we go no here, we don't want to do this, then no cash will be drawn and it'll affect the cash flow accordingly. We also want to say well, what was I going to do? I forgot. Welcome, viewers. If you're here for the first time or coming back, I'm just trying to eat and do the modeling. I'm so hungry. We're doing a mixed-use real estate model. I'm working on the debt financing. Oh, right. Okay. I want to make sure this is not an error if I zero this out. Alright, so... What? So we're still getting a value here. Sometimes you kind of work in... Oh, whoops, that was selling fees. If I zero out the exit cap, that should zero. Okay, div error, perfect. That's fine. So we got to put if errors in front of all this. And I don't want to forget about doing this, so I'm just doing it right now. If error. We don't want to see any errors if we can avoid it. Just zero it out. Sorry about the sound. I'll put the extra parentheses so it doesn't do it. Now we should be fine. Okay, good. No more error. So if I don't do an exit on one of them, that's fine. And it just zeroes out. Which is good. Back to debt. We've got a balance, we've got a draw. Now repayment is going to depend on do I want to do interest accrual as a question. So we could try and do this. It's always a funny thing with these models. Usually the debt is the most complex part and the hardest part. That's probably why a lot of people buy them, because they don't want to have to do this. So the base assumption is no. All right, let's do interest. The base assumption, no balloon payments or bullets are going to be paid. It's going to be interest only period, which we got to put in here. Usually it's 12 months, but it could be different depending on the development schedule. So let's just say it's 12 for the sake of this. So if we're in this period, we could possibly be accruing interest to the balance, or we could be paying it, and that's going to be equity that, got to pay out. Both types of loans exist, and there's not really. It's just depends on how your CFO or how you decide to do it yourself if you're doing it. So we need one base calculation for interest, which is just the balance times the monthly rate. And we're gonna have to do. No, let's just try it like this. Probably there's one of the biggest issues with this is circular reference problems. The biggest thing, usually. And this is, I don't want a negative balance. Hold on, why? This is negative that, and that is this minus this. All right, 909. Yep. So only negative values coming through on the draw. Monthly interest here. Sorry about that. All right. Where interest only period, right? I think I'm going to do this in modules. So, balance. I'm going to have a beginning and an ending balance. I'll have to do a payment if there is one. Yeah, I think the easiest way is we're going to have to separate this out between interest only, period, the P&I, which was taking place after the interest only period, and that debt service, and then another one for the refi. If there's a refi, and you can obviously toggle everything to do it or not, and do the toggle the terms and the basis for the refi and everything. So excuse me while I eat. It's been a hectic day. My wife's sister had a baby. So I've been here watching the dog all day. Alright. Beginning balance. Interest payment. Payment. So if this is equals accrual, which is yes, then there's no payment. Otherwise, we are paying the interest and the balance will not change. And I tell you right now, when I'm working on more complex logic stuff, sometimes if you can't figure it out, take a day, come back refreshed, and just redo the whole thing from scratch, and sometimes you'll get it. I recommend this if you find that your formulas are starting to get really, really big. And that's one sign you gotta take a break. And you're just trying to do too much at once. So if this is no, well, if it's yes, then we're accruing, which means no payment. So the ending balance is going to be the beginning balance plus the interest minus payment. Okay, that makes sense. And then the beginning balance of the next period is just the ending balance of the last period. And then this is here. We also do if the month is greater than this, then 0. Oh, no. What? Hold on. If this month is greater than this is 0. Now let me check if I've got an issue with the first one. No, that's fine. So let's say it's, I don't know, 16 months, not 13 or 12. So we've got a balance here. We've got interest accruing. So what that means is it's going to compound because you're not paying it. Or it could not I mean, there's so many different terms to debt. It's crazy. Maybe it's not compounding. Maybe it's just applying to the draw amount and it's just accruing every time. So, I mean, we could, let's assume it's not compounding. Assumes this, and compound is just interest on interest. Whereas accrual assumes this is not. Accrual does not assume compounding. And what that means is, well, now this gets real tricky. We're getting real tricky because now what we have to know the balance, and it can be different as you draw over time in different months, which is going to raise the balance and should raise the interest. But the actual interest, if it's accruing, we need to know what it is at the end, but we need to know the accrual basis. So let's do another column over here. Or interest of balance, interest basis. And this would only, so we're assuming there's no compounding interest, so that means this is only going to be equal to this. So there's interest. It's always the same calculation no matter what is paid. Well, it's interest only, so I mean you're either paying interest or you're not. But this is going to be the basis for interest. So we want to swing this over here. However, what we need to know is the actual accrued balance, which is going to be here. So this is taking into account the draws plus the interest. So in this case, and we could also put if our month is greater than the interest only period, no more interest. The nice thing about putting everything on a monthly basis, I can pull that right into the monthly cash flow and then swing it up to the annual from there. Oh, where am I? Debt. So that looks good. So this 143,000 should be adding up the ending to the ending balance if there's no payments. Well, let's double check it is. So it'd be this total and so we should be at 1,052,000, which we're not. So what do we do here? What did I miss? 855. Interest accrues. You're 864. The repay balance. Beginning balance is that. We're adding is this again. Right, we're adding. Did I miss something in the math here? Let's do 6 periods just so it's smaller. We got 52,000 and we have 909. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I gotta do G13 and then minus any new draw. Now we're there. Put this back to 16. 1,052,000, that's right where I thought. Right, 143. $909, 1,052,912, perfect. So in this case, at the end of the 16 month, you got a balance of 1,052,000. That's then going to roll into a traditional P&I loan, which will begin with its own terms on month 17. And at that point, debt service begins. So normally, you try to time it so this allows you to borrow money while you develop, and then you start getting revenue somewhere close to when you start having to the interest only period's over, so you could actually start paying it back. You could also maybe raise funds from that and pay off all this and get a lower interest rate, which I think we'll be able to do with this. But I'm telling you, man, that logic is the most complex I've ever ran into, and it's always hard. Every time. Alright. So our interest balance makes sense. It's not compounding. It's just increasing based on the draw. What if we say no here? Perfect. Then the balance is just whatever it is. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Interest basis, repay balance. Now, we've got interest only period logic. The next piece is now, I mean, there's not really, you're not going to pay all this back when you start operating, most likely. You're just going to roll forward. So if this is no, make sure this still works. It's all zeros. If you're not doing any financing. If it's yes, we have interest only period, which now this could be 0. And in that case, this is our balance. Development loan. And then we have over here G plus I traditional loan. And then over here at the end we're going to do a refi, or an option to refi. Now the option to refi doesn't mean it's just an option, so you don't have to. Right. We don't have. Sorry if I'm eating. It's been a long day. Huh. Sorry. Okay, so the tough thing here is tricky. We got to stay on the same monthly timeline. We've got our interest only loan. We've got the P9. Now, P9 start month is going to be this plus 1. Well, hold on. Let's think. What if there's not a draw until month 2? You know, hold on, because the timing is going to be hard here, so let's just say, let's say there's no draw till month 2. Now, if this interest only period is 6, we're actually See, it just goes deeper and deeper and you get more complex. So we need a start month for this. A start month of loan. In case it's not the very first month of the model, which I guess it might not be. And this is going to be able to be manually done, and then so this is the start month plus here. So technically this should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that starts in 8. And now we need, so we have month number here, but to reference when the loan should stop, we need loan length, which is actually going to be the month number minus the start month. Pretty sure. And that's fine if it's negative. Wait, +1 maybe? That looks right. So what if my start month was month 1? Then it's the same, that makes sense. What if it's month 3? Then month 1 is not technically till month 3. Okay, that's fine. So this needs to reference this. What? Oh. And let's wrap it with an if error because the negative number is not in the model. That makes sense. No, but I need to index. Okay, hold on. This formula is fine actually. Because I just am indexing, I need to know the month here. Okay, so this is fine. This reference is the one. Dang it. What am I doing? Don't want that. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, hold on. Why am I at 7, 6? 6. Oh. Technically, so you need to make sure this matches the first draw month, whatever month that may be. So in this case, it'd be 2. And then this goes for 6 months, so that stops. Just want to make sure. That's good. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so now month 8 is always right. Okay, that's good. This is by far the most difficult part of the model. By far. So we're accruing, so technically at the end of month 6 we now have a balance of 185,000. So this is what we want to flow into here on the right month. So let's put a starting balance of the interest P&I loan, I mean. So if you do an interest only loan, you're 100% having a P&I loan after. No question. Crap, there goes a rice thing. Dang it. I mean, we'll probably spend the rest of the day on this. Okay, so if this month equals our start month of here, then I want the balance, ending balance, repay balance. And this is almost like the drawl of the P&I. How far do we even go? I guess 120 months is fine because the model doesn't go further than that anyway. What happened? Oh. It's got to be 1 month less because this is ending. Hold on. So this has got to be K13 or K3 minus 1. There's my draw. So this is a starting balance of, we'll put flow to P plus I. Starting balance is then equal to this. And so this is interest. We don't need a monthly IO here. We don't need accrual. So the normal terms, what is it? You've got term in years. Let's say 20-year loan or amortization. Got an interest rate. Payments per year. We're going to assume this is 12. Not getting into different payments, so this is always assumed this. So never change that. Interest rate. Total payments. Just for the amortization, we need to know this, so. Now it gets real funky when we try and go roll this into a free fi loan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard. All right. So I have to have a timeline for this as well. And I need to know the year. So we know our start month. That can be automated. Payment. Can I do, let's... Payment. I guess if the which one do I reference? If the month number is equal to this, or no, if it's greater than equal to that, then we're good. So that means do a payment, which is based on the rate, which is this divided by 12. Number of payments is that. present value, now here's the tricky part. The present value needs to be, so what's the easy reference? Because can I do a max on repay balance? And even if the draws are higher or lower over time, let's say draws like 500,000. Can I always take the max of this as what flows? I guess that never goes down. It either, or the highest number would always be the last number, right? Because you're either paying the interest off and then the balance stays the same and you draw more, it goes up, or the interest goes up, you don't pay anything, and then this goes up. So yeah, the starting balance, and here's exactly how we can do it. We can do it index, give me the repay balance if match this minus 1 with our month. There you have it. So that'll dynamically give us the right starting balance that we have to use for the payments. That's good. Now we can do our formula here. So present value, that, you only do a negative for all of that. And then it's false because it's not greater than that, so 0. Lock K6, K4. Drag this down. So there's our monthly payment. And that's based on this number here. So payment, and I'll be paying that for 240 months. The interest is, how do we, so starting balance, payment, principal, interest, ending balance. Is going to be starting balance minus principal, and then this starting balance is going to be ending balance plus this. We'll see if this makes sense here. Okay, so payment. So that starts it off, right, so the payment starts the next month. So far, so good. The interest rate will be, so how does this come down? I guess if this is greater than or equal to our start month, then take the interest rate divided by 12 times the starting balance. And I think we're good with that. Dang it. Forget the parentheses, it makes that noise, sorry. So oh, what did I do? Oh. K4's gotta be locked. So interest now. Principal is simply the payment minus the interest. Or I could do PPMT, but this way it's the same. And I'll show you in a second. Now, am I making sense is the question here. So this starts in month 8, principal interest. $744. Okay, so if I did PPMT, that's the principal payment. This divided by 12. Period. Let's say it's period 3. Number of periods 240. Present value. And then this should equal this one. Oh wait. Oh no. Hold on. This should equal this. Or close to it. Okay, so it doesn't. Let's think about this. So does the present value need to be the present value as of that period, I wonder? Which would be, so here's payment 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Okay, we'll do this formula over here so we don't get a reference error. So 1, 2, and then the third payment. $694. No. I am 1, 2. That would be the third payment. So payment 1, 2, 3. And then that's the balance in payment 3. I was saying $694. Okay, hold on. We're going to go to another table. Let's pull out our enterprise SaaS model here. I hate that the debt logic is so hard. Okay, so where am I doing? Models. Enterprise SaaS, that's gotta, I'm sure, find one. I'm getting warm. So if I have debt here, we'll just say the same schedule. And can you guys see this? I don't know. I think it's just going to that one, but I'm checking over here. So long term, 20 years, 12%. The payment should be $7,441.24. So $7,441. Yep, that's right. And then, what does the first payment look like? $1,047.63.97. Okay. Am I missing something? 12, 20. Yeah, this is different. Oh, whoops, I was not scroll up to the top. Okay, so 683, 6750. Let's copy and paste this down. So here's the numbers I'm seeing on a schedule I know is right. I'll drag this over here. So the payment number is good. That's good. 6758, 6758. That's good. 51, 44. 737, and we're 83, 690, 697, 74, 711. Let me just see, this should equal that, true, this should equal this. Okay. We're mostly, there's some falses, but the falses are probably because there's rounding or something. Because the variance is small. Minus. Yeah, it's less than a penny on all these. Yeah, less. I mean, it's like, yeah, like 20 decimals. So that means it's just a rounding thing with Excel. That's fine. That's not a material issue at all. Okay, so back to where we are now that we've sanity checked that to death. Close this out. Don't save. Okay. So we got starting balance. This was like 12. Make sure is this still flowing good. It's 13 of the model. But that's offset. That's right. Good. Okay, perfect. Now, why do I have no values up here? Okay. This is great. This is going smoother than I thought, actually. So, we have payments happening here. So these will happen until there's a refi then. Or an exit. And so if there's an exit, and right now the cash flows we pull are this payment number, which if these are accruing, there is none here. And then this is flowing here. Again, no actual cash flow is happening. We're just changing debt from interest only to P&I. And the first time payments happen is here. Okay, you're paying a P&I for a while. Based on that. And the payment is higher if you've been accruing interest in this development period. Now on the, so the tricky thing, if there's an exit and you haven't done a refi yet, then you would need to pay off this balance. If you've refied, you don't. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go refi, question mark, refi month number. So here is something you're going to have to just look at the model, and it's not automated. This will be yes, no. I really want to finish this too tonight, if I can. So you got to pick some number. Let's say in the month, and it's going to be based on the model month. So let's say you want to refi in month 48. So we put 48 in here. So now, let's make these bigger. What size is this? 13 and a half. And in all likelihood, you will refi if there is one before you exit. Otherwise, there's just not going to be a refi. So the flow to refi is going to be if this month equals So if refis happen in month 48, it means month 49 you start with the refi debt service. So floated refi is going to be if this equals refi month, then take the ending balance. Well, no. Hold on. Let's put this up here. So we've got our refi, and yes, no, and then this is going to have an interest rate and a term. Maybe it's less. We also need, just going to assume 12 months a year. And starting balance, we'll get to that in a second. We also have to do, I almost had enough rows, one more. LTV basis. Now to do an LTV basis, we need to know net operating income. So here we could say where's my net operating income total? So we're going to go down here actually and go, well, where do we want to put this? I'll put it under here. Basis for refi LTV if applicable. What that means is you can do consolidated net operating income times 12, and then what do I have over here? LTV basis, and we're going to have to drag this down one. Cap rate for LTV, let's say, I don't know, 6%. So the bank's going to value all of your properties at 6% cap and give you 75% of that as the loan. So you take the annualized net operating income divided by, and we can just run this calculation, doesn't matter on the timing of it, for this divided by this, and then times 75%. And now at every month we know what the potential LTV is. So if we're in month 48, 59 million, does that make sense? Let's see. Net operating of 395,000 total times 12, 4 million a year, and a 20-year cap would be like, what did I say that was 6%? 79 million. Take that times 0.75, 59,398. 59,398 is our number, so there's the sanity check. So now, technically, the bank would give us $59 million here in month 48. Now that would go to pay off this balance, as well as then the rest of it is debt you gotta pay back. I'm sorry, the money will go toward paying off the balance, and then the rest can go to investors or the cash distribution schedule. And a lot of guys will do this to return cash flow quicker to investors and try and buy them out. So And we're also gonna have to put, if there is a refi, if there's any fees, early repay fees, if anything. We'll have to pay that. Or if you don't want to count for it, you can put a 0. The question is, how do I, let's think about this. So floating refi, the amount you have to pay back is the total of that. So we go, and we're gonna say what, month 48. So if this equals this, then index here, match that tab, that with the month. And we're definitely going to be going into next week on this for sure, no question. Alright, R4 is locked. Monthly cash flow is fine. Debt, we don't want that. And that's locked. So let's put this to 136 just so it's not so far down. I just want to be able to see it real quick. Oh, what happened? Oh, I need to lock this as well. So 51 million is the amount they're willing to lend. So you take that money minus the ending balance here. Now, if this is a no, then this can just be 0. So if it's no, there's no money. If yes, pull this minus the debt balance here, 711. So you've repaid this and you got a new loan. So that all makes pretty good sense. Next thing, so 36. So we have flow to refi. We need to end this. And then the prepay fee penalty, it'll just be 1% of the balance times, and if there is a refi. So we can do here if refi equals yes, then if this is greater than the refi month, 0. Otherwise, just do your regular thing. So that should stop payments at that month. Perfect. And do the same thing on here. If that is yes, then the principal, that's just going to be 0. And then here we do So that ends. Now if this is no, this just, oh, dang it. If this equals yes, then if this equals 0, 0, otherwise, yes, then do this string greater than R4. I'm getting lost here. If R3 is yes, which is not, then we'll do the second if statement. If it says yes, then do this. Otherwise, do 0. I don't know. What's up?
My dad's having an appointment. He's not allowed to have anybody around, so don't speak when you come out.
Okay.
Just go into the living room or the basement. I'm gonna be hanging out in the living room.
Alright, I'll just stay in here. How long is it gonna be?
It could be he's upstairs, so you can come into the living room.
Oh, alright.
Do you want me to heat that up or put it in the fridge?
You're definitely in the shot right now. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, you barely are. Yeah, put this in the fridge, yeah.
Still streaming.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Okay, anyway, I'm lost here. So if this equals yes, then if B14 is greater than R4, then 0. Otherwise, so which logical string am I even on here? Otherwise, if B14. K3, then do the payment. What am I missing here? So yes, then do, it's getting late. It's getting late, guys. It's getting late. B14. So this is yes, I want to check something, which is if this is greater than 0. Or if B14 is greater than this, check it. If it is, then 0. Otherwise, do this string, so that should be fine. Why am I getting a false? Is it? Oh wait, let me try now. No. Oh, undo, 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 undo. Oh wait, this is after the P&I. So that should start in 13. Why am I not starting? Yes, so it doesn't equal yes. If this equals yes, then if this equals that, 0. Otherwise, so this should be happening if it's a no. Losing stamina here. If R3 equals yes, and if that's fine. That's working. Now I want to say if this equals no, if this equals a yes, then if this is greater than here, then 0. If that equals yes, then oh my goodness, why? Y3 equals yes, then 3 around 4 and 0. Okay, so this is stopping at the right time, but I'm getting, if it's no, I'm getting an issue. Okay. Nope, that didn't do it either. So what are we done? I thought I hit it. Oh. I am struggling here. And this is what I say when I'm telling you. If you get too much, the brain stops. All right, come on. If this equal, so let me get it to where it's correct. So it's fine there. We're good. Now all I want to do is, if there's a refi, then I need this to stop after month 36. Otherwise, just keep doing this formula. If this equals yes, then what am I doing? If the refi equals yes, then 1. Am I making sense here? If R3 equals yes, then do 1. Otherwise, do the formulas there. Right, so now it's going to show me 1 on every spot. That's good. So if R3 is yes, then 1, otherwise here. Now if this is no, then do this. Perfect. Sometimes you gotta simplify. So now if it's yes, then do 1. So what does 1 have to now occupy? 1 has to be if this is greater than this, then 0. Otherwise, do the formula that's there, right? Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, 3 minutes to figure this out. We're going to be doing this all next week too. Hopefully I'll finish the dat and then this is the hardest part. By hands down, I've been on this for like an hour now. So what happens? Yes. And here's my 1 value at that is greater than 0. Let's just put this into everything. No. For goodness sakes, guys. I think I've had it. I think I've had it. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I got it. We do here. I think this is it. So my 1 is now, if this is yes, then do, if this equals it, greater than 0, then 0. Otherwise do this whole thing. But that's just if it's yes. If it's no, I'm now here. And I gotta do this. Oh, come on. What is false? Did that work? Oh, shoot, I think we're there. And then refi it goes, and then if it's a yes, it should stop. Yes, okay. Here's the logic. And then we just do, we've got a 0 there. Oh, wait, we're still missing this first part. Let's see, which is in here somewhere. 0. That's fine. Oh. Crazy. What the heck is up with this? Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now, we got that one to work. And then that zeroes out interest and principal. Because wait, we already did interest okay, so that's working fine. So 7-Eleven, we take that off of here. Do our last payment in month 35, then month 36 we now have a new one. Okay, and if it's no, then this just, it starts here and it keeps going. Now, oh shoot. But now my interest is all messed up. So let's set this here. So false. So all it's doing is checking if the no, the other side of the no value is what I'm trying to get to. So we got to do this here. So where's my other? I think it's this one. Nope. Okay. Okay, we're in. Okay. Did we get it? So if this is no, that just goes. If this is yes, then it stops on that one. Perfect. That's all I want to do is stop it and start the principal, interest, and payments. And this levels off at 7-Eleven. Perfect. If it was month 48, goes down to 48. This, we can drag this all the way down here. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming to the stream. I'm really glad I figured this last part out. Don't forget, if you want to support me, keep the juices going. I'll keep doing these streams. Join the YouTube channel. It's $4.99 a month for the basic tier 1. We've got 3 in there now. Thank you guys for joining. It really is helpful. If you can't, no worries. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you can't do that, that's fine. Check out smarthelping.com. I've got advanced financial model templates there for over 100 different uses, from industry specific, SaaS, real estate, joint venture, accounting tools, almost anything you could think of for financial templates. You could find something there. I'm gonna clear this out. So this is where we left off. I feel like we're in a good spot. We've got down to cash flow. We've got the debt, interest only. We've got the P&I part. We've got the P&I ending potentially if there's a refi, and then now we just gotta do the refi, P&I, amortization, and then make sure everything's flowing through to cash flow correctly. And then we'll have to integrate that with the exit month. Now, the tricky thing here, if these have different exit months, but we have one loan, one big loan, we're going to have to assume the cash. We'll probably assume there's going to be balloon payments. I'm trying to think what's the best way to do that. That's something for next stream probably, but we're going to have to figure out for sure how to either we just take the last exit month, whatever that might be, and don't pay anything back until that, or yeah, I mean that's probably the best thing. And we'll just manually choose. So and make sure this is no. Does all this go to 0? Yeah, this does. We'll have to do we'll do month of loan payback if applicable. And so you can just choose. If you know there's enough cash left, or like selling off all the offices, residential, and food places, or whatever those 3 are, you can then just set this to, let's say, July 30, 31, and it'll on that month it'll pay back all the debt. If you know you're not going to have enough cash to do it until the end, then that's fine. Just set this date to the last exit month of the last use case or use. Now the question here, the other thing is, so if we have that, basically, do we want to allow the user to manually enter payments that override what this is? But I don't think so, because this payment is based on, what is this? Where's my payment buddy? K8 starting balance. So if I now change the balance, make a big huge payment here, our whole thing's gonna be thrown off. It won't work. So it's gonna have to be now 9 out of 10 times all these extra months are probably gonna be the same. So generally your monthly payback is when you exit everything. If not, you gotta put the exit to the time that the last thing is happening, if you know there's not enough cash to pay back the loan. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay back that debt, and then you're still got operation, but you might have to have, contribute some money to pay that debt off. Because there's not enough from the exits, because you didn't exit everything at once. I think that's okay though. I think that's fine. And eventually you'll have a cash flow number no matter what. So that's good. I mean, I told you, this debt logic is so hard. Because there's so many factors. We also gotta not forget the prepay. So let me put this in yellow. Don't forget this. We're gonna have prepay fees on here as well for the refi. So let's come down another row here. I think we got most of everything. It's just now a matter of making the logic work, and this was probably the hardest. So if we go back to yes here, month 48 is the refi, all that flows. Okay, I'm happy with where this is going. It's a really good template. Really good template here. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.